Hey.
Hey, I just like that song so much.
I know, right?
It's so fun. How you doing?
I'm here. I'm doing good. I'm suddenly just got a lot of energy as soon as we hit go live. So there you go.
Right? It's suddenly like, oh, it's go time. Yeah. And it is go time. It is go time, especially for this episode, our November episode of our live stream that we do with the Waco Indie Film Festival.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're counting down the days. If you might have gotten an email where we're counting down the days, it's just 16 days till Thanksgiving, which is crazy that's coming up so fast. It's 254 days until the next festival.
Hey, the 254.
Yeah, and if you know Waco, 254, that's our area code, so that's exciting. 254 days until we roll out downtown again, and then it's only 1 week until our next deadline.
Wow, 1 week till the next deadline, and there's a link. There's a link there for people who are interested in submitting to the film festival.
Wow.
Yeah, it's our early deadline. Basically, the trick is it's midnight your time on November 14th. If you get your submission in, then you're in that, obviously that first tier. The deadlines are there because it helps us to watch things early. You want us to be there with fresher eyes. You don't want to hit us at the end when we are overwhelmed with a bunch of submissions to watch. And look, we're really blessed that we're going to our 8th year and we are getting tons of submissions, and we love that. We got a great team. They're watching every one. And it's just something that if you want to get our eyes on it for your submission early, the best thing to do is take advantage of these early submissions. And so therefore reward you by having the lower prices. But obviously once that deadline ends, the price goes up. But yeah, submit by next week and you will be in like Flynn. Speaking of next week, we actually have a film series specifically for Wacoans that we're curating. Lewis, tell us all about that.
Yeah. So next week, Real Stories returns to Waco. And then if you went to Real Stories last year, but if you haven't, no problem. So Real Stories is like a mini festival that we put on. It is all documentary based. That's the Real and Real Stories. It's all documentary based. It's a lot slower paced as well. Whereas the festival, we have short films, feature films. We have stuff happening at 2 or 3 venues at one time. Real Stories is 1 film a night. And that's it. It begins at 7. We have an extended Q&A where instead of, having to turn over the theater for the next group, Q&As here can last up to like 30 minutes. You can really talk to
very relaxing.
Yeah, and talk to, a lot of the stuff that we're showing is issues focused. So you really get to unfold these things, chat about them, talk to the people who made the film, talk to our community leaders about them as well. And each film or each evening, it's only 1 film a piece, right? So it makes for a really enjoyable evening. So it's 4 nights, 4 films. It's all free. And included with the films is we got art, because this is all at Art Center Waco. So you get to experience their 50th anniversary compilation that they're hosting at Art Center at that time. There's also food. We've got food vendors coming. Actually, it's free food. They're all light appetizers. So you can get to come, have some snacks, have some drinks, art, enjoy live music. Each night has a different flavor of music that fits with their film. So it ends up being a really great time. If you have never been to Deep in the Heart, and now Waco Indie, and you've never been to the film festival, this is a great way to dip your toes in because it's all free and it's a lot slower paced.
Definitely. That's a good overview for all 4 nights, but let's talk about the specific first night.
Yeah. So the first night, it's 1 week from tonight. We're going to partner with Baylor University, the Institute for Studies of Religion, and a few other of the Baylor entities to present a film called Join or Die. So the film is all based on this Harvard professor named Robert Putnam and his research. He wrote a book called Bowling Alone. And it's fascinating because he's done research for a couple decades now, all about our social networks, but not like Facebook and YouTube and things like that. It's all about the actual social interaction we had with people, right?
The real stuff.
The real stuff, right? It's just really funny because I know we're on those networks now telling you about it. So a little bit of irony.
We're trying to get on Instagram, by the way. If anyone could figure out how to help us stream onto Instagram, or if anyone knows anyone on Instagram that can open that up for us, we've been trying to get that done. But go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So it's all about how we've lost those connections. Like, so the research is all about how membership in clubs has gone down, membership of block parties, the number of block parties that are advertised has gone down. And but one thing that's consistent is like the number of people who bowl, right? The number of people who bowl
Yeah.
is just as popular as it ever was. But the difference is instead of people being in bowling leagues, they're just bowling by themselves or with one or two people. So
Yeah.
the name of his book is called Bowling Alone, but it's like an indicator of how we've kind of lost that connectivity to each other, right? The interpersonal stuff. And that's kind of been one of those signs of, hey, our society is not as intertwined, interwoven as it used to be, right? And so the film does a great job of explaining what the problem is and how we can address that. And so we're really excited to partner with, like I said, Baylor Institute of Religious Studies to present this film in conjunction with them. The filmmakers will be in attendance, and that's happening at 6:30, 1 week from today, at the Fudge Auditorium in the Hurd Center, and that is free. When you go onto our website to log in, it says faculty, staff, students. No, it's free to everyone. You just got to sign up.
Yep. I have a feeling we'll be saying free a lot during this particular one. Just to emphasize the point, things are free. So that's the first night. The other 3 nights are a bit different. Lewis?
Yes. So it is a little bit different because the other nights, those will be at the Art Center. We're partnering with the Art Center on those nights. And that, like I said, is like an art smorgasbord. What a fun word. Because again, it's all free.
Free.
It's a different documentary each night. And after each documentary, we have an in-depth discussion, and that's going to be hosted by folks from 25 News and some folks from KWBU. So you've got some really great interviewers there that are going to lead this discussion, talk to the people who understand the issues, and interchange and collaborate with you and talk with you about your ideas and things that are happening in the community. So it's a really great way to bond as a community. See, connected to the first film. But also, kind of explore the different issues that are happening. And in addition to the films and the discussion, we have live music. There's also free food by some really great local caterers. And you get to explore the Art Center. Like I said, they're hosting their 50th anniversary celebration. You'll get to see little snippets throughout their history of the different artists that have come through Art Center. And all of this is sponsored by Creative Waco.
Yeah. I especially love the Thursday night film coming up. It's a good name. It's a name that I still have dear in my heart. The film is called Deep in the Heart. Hey. It is a wonderful documentary. Highly recommend you come out to see it. It is actually narrated by this guy, Matt McConaughey. I think
they say he's an actor from Austin or something.
Yeah, he's an actor from Austin. A guy named Matthew McConaughey, I think. Anyway,
I think
narrating it. Yeah, it is actually high quality, beautiful, beautiful imagery, and it's all about Texas wildlife, Texas water even supplies, which is fascinating because it all is intertwined, the ecosystem, and it's just when I watched it, I was learning things and it's educational, it's informative, but it's also very entertaining. Much a joy to watch, just breathtaking to see as well. Real high quality, Planet Earth BBC kind of quality type stuff. It talks about returns of the black bears coming to Big Bend, which is a big thing. You've got Gulf Coast dolphins. You have, everything from the mysterious blind catfish to the elusive mountain lion. And there are some cool shots of the mountain lions. Definitely family friendly film. And that's going to be Thursday, the 16th, 7 p.m. Art Center. Now, obviously, it is a fun night for everyone. And I just need to know, did we mention it's free?
It's free and it has all sorts of stuff with it free. The music is free before.
We're going to have David Harness is going to be here. I think I have a picture of him if I can get that. I'm also doing all the branding for this kind of stuff. I should be showing that. So David Harness, local artist, will be there. And again, here's some cool little stills from Deep in the Heart. But that's going to be there. We're going to have obviously appetizers and everything are going to be supplied by Segovia Wine Bar, which I must say, I was there this weekend, Segovia Wine Bar, and I mean, just French kiss. It was so good.
I think you mean Chef Kiss.
French kiss. Yeah, I do mean chef kiss. I'm not dyslexic. Yeah. So yes. So anyway, so I'm glad I
Unless
wasn't
you
on.
want to make out with a wine bar. I
I
mean,
know,
that's
right?
your thing.
Well, wine, France. I don't know. But yeah,
That's
no,
fantastic.
no. But
Love it.
yeah, Segovia is going to have some tapas there. My gosh, they're so good. I
They're
really hope. I wonder if we can talk them into bringing their dessert. It's an amazing dessert. It's oh, I just blinked on the name. It is tocino de cielo, which is basically fat from heaven. Trust me, it's amazing. It's
That's
basically, yeah, it's like flan, but it's three ingredients. It's the egg whites and water and sugar and a bunch of beautiful seasoning on it, cinnamon
wow.
and stuff like that. Yeah, so three main ingredients in that. But it's I hope they bring that. Be great. If you haven't, you should go check out Segovia Wine Bar as well.
Yes, definitely. Segovia is fantastic. Yeah.
Yep.
And so that's all Thursday.
Yep.
What 8-9 days from now.
Mhm.
On Friday next week, that brings us a film called Juneteenth: Faith and
Yep.
Freedom.
Yep.
And so what that film is, it's all exploring the origins of the newest federal holiday, which is Juneteenth.
Mhm.
And so what we have now, actually, this is really special. We're able to talk with the director of the film, Yake Smith. He wasn't able to join us live, but we did get this recorded. So let's go ahead and pitch it to me. Yaki. So when you're ready. Hey there, it's Lewis here, pre-recorded with Dr. Yaki Smith. Yaki, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Well, we have a film of yours that's coming to Real Stories. That's going to be happening. Your film is going to be on Friday, November 17th at 7 p.m. The film is Juneteenth, Faith and Freedom.
Yes.
Yaki, can you tell us a little bit about the film, how it came about, how what's going on with your film?
Yeah, so the film, as you just said, is entitled Juneteenth, Faith and Freedom, and it basically is about the Juneteenth holiday, its origins, how we still celebrate it today, even though, we've been celebrating it for a long time, but how it just became a national holiday. But it mostly charts the history of slavery in Texas, emancipation, what emancipation was actually like for those who had been enslaved for, 250 years. And also how they sort of took something that was used as a weapon against them, and that's where the faith comes in, and they turned it into something that became a powerful tool of liberation for them. And yeah, I'm just excited that the film is getting traction, and I'm excited that people are just wanting to screen it and really learn more about the significance of this holiday.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching it. It was really eye-opening. I think some of the most important things about it is it dispelled some myths, some things that I went in going in just expecting it to be. And it's like, oh, no, that's not at all how that really was and how it played out. And of course, you're talking about the faith element. I mean, we're here in Waco, Texas. The largest Baptist university in the world is right here in our backyard. I think the faith component to the film is really important. Can you expand a little bit about how faith, and not only faith, but also family, weaves in the story of your film?
Yeah, it's interesting because I think that one of the institutions that have always been in the backdrop of, the Black community is the Black church. And if you even think about, I'm going to move up to the civil rights movement, but if you think about even the civil rights movement, it was in Black churches where we strategized, where we met, where a lot of marches started, where people would go to when they needed shelter from whatever violence that was happening to them while they were actually trying to fight for liberation. And so that history even travels all the way back to slavery. As I said before, I think one of the things about faith is that in many ways, if you really begin to research the ways in which the Bible was used to justify slavery, to justify the violence that was wielded against Black people on plantations and everywhere in between, it's interesting how that same Bible, that same document, again, that was used again as a tool to keep us enslaved really became a roadmap for our liberation, because I think what we did is we took it and we found the truth that was in it. Mm-hmm. And from that point on, that's why the Black church has played such a huge part in our history, in our present, right? Because I do think that even right now, the Black church is still a symbol of liberation. It's not as, pointed as it used to be. And that's another thing that we can talk about. But I do think that even today, it is one of the most important institutions that we have. And it has always, again, played a significant role in the story of Black people in this country.
Yeah, I thought it was very powerful, and especially like you talk about how it's this one Bible, but it really wasn't, was it? There were literally two copies of the Bible. There was a Bible they gave the slaves and a Bible they kept in the church just to keep things separated, and that's one of those things that really surprised me. I did not know, and so I'm hoping that's one of the things that our audiences get surprised about. So, what are you excited about? What do you hope that our audiences here get to glean from this film?
Yeah, you said something earlier about dispelling myths. I do think that, as someone who has always celebrated Juneteenth, I've always been at parades. We've had family reunions that were centered around Juneteenth. About the holiday, but in doing this documentary, there's so much that I just didn't know. Things that I thought I knew were true, I realized that they were not true. Yeah. And so I hope that people walk away with, a newfound appreciation for Juneteenth, but also that they walk away more curious, right? That they walk away wanting to learn more, because there's so much about, again, this is a 90-minute documentary, but again, we shot 30 hours of footage. And so there's so much that we could not get into the documentary. And so I hope that people leave the documentary curious, they go do their research, and they really, really start sharing this information so that we don't just see it as just like a holiday, because that's another thing too, is that I don't want it to just become a holiday, but I really, really want it to become, again, more of a roadmap for liberation, so that we can begin to strategize. We can see how, people, again, after emancipation, they built communities, they built schools, they built churches, they rallied together to make sure that they stayed, together as families. And I hope that when you watch the film, that you walk away not only with a newfound appreciation for what they did, but also that you walk away with tools that you can use in your own family, in your own community, to continue this fight, because it's still a fight that's going on even today.
Yeah, I am so excited to have the film at Real Stories. Again, that is going to be Friday, the 17th at 7 p.m. Yaki will be joining us at that point. He'll tell you more of the stories that didn't make it on the cut. You'll get like the director's notes. It'll be awesome. We'll get a nice discussion afterward. 25 News will be there to help facilitate that discussion. So it'll be a really great evening full of music, food, film, and more. Yaki, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Right. We'll see you in Waco real soon.
All right. Looking forward to it.
What do you know?
Right? That's a heck of an interview.
Yes, it was. It was fun.
Yeah.
I love those things.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah. So we have, and I'm going to show the graphic again. That will be this next Friday, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not this Friday, next Friday.
Yeah, next Friday. That's the 17th. It's going to be 7 p.m. at the Arts Center. It is just like the rest. It's all free. And we do have live music by the Waco Community Choir, and food is being catered by True Jamaica. So, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
That's going to be awesome. Yeah. And if you have any questions for us on this stream, be sure to drop it in the comments because we can see those. We can answer those questions for you if you have any. That goes on Facebook and YouTube. Got questions? We've got answers.
Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, or X or whatever they call it. And not Instagram yet, but I'm trying.
Yeah. Well, the series Real Stories, that's going to end on Saturday night, not this Saturday, next Saturday, with an evening to honor Jules Bledsoe. So I don't know about you, but for me, I was a little bit familiar with him. I knew the name from the community center, the Bledsoe Miller Community Center, but I didn't know his story. Right. And so a friend of the festival, Doug McDermott, was like, hey, you need to get to know this guy. His 125th birthday is coming up. We should really look to honor him. And I'm really excited that this evening gets to do that. Right.
When you say get to know him, 125, gentleman is passed.
he passed a while back. Yeah. But get to know, the legacy that he's left behind. Right? Exactly. So now I want you to think of the song Old Man River, right? The Old Man River. It's like, of course, it's a famous song, but you are probably hearing in your head Jules Bledsoe's voice,
right?
Because that is the famous voice behind that song. And so Jules Bledsoe, he grew up in Waco, but he obviously made his name outside of the town. He went to Broadway. He performed on Broadway and operas, things like that.
Mhm.
He really pushed the envelope because
Yeah.
this was all happening in like the 20s and 30s,
Mhm.
right? And so country still having racism issues then. He really pushed the envelope as a Black performer, right? And so, and not only was he a performer, he was a singer, but also a composer. And so, like, music was his life. And
Yeah.
so, we're so excited to bring a couple of Baylor professors together. That's going to be, let's see, I'm seeing if you're bringing up an image. No, okay.
I'll bring up an image. Horace.
Dr. Horace
Dr.
Maxiel.
Horace.
Yep. He's from the Baylor School of Music. He's going to discuss his life in music, the compositions he made, the songs that he sung. And combining with that, Dr. David Smith from the history department, he's going to tell us all about the history of Jules and his life here in Waco. And so we get to explore this man's life and legacy through two different avenues, have this wonderful discussion, learn all about one of the leading voices, one of the legacies that our town has had. I'm so excited about that. So like I said, you get to hear these original compositions. Those are going to be performed by soprano Sylvia Jones and accompanist Cesar Karowski. I probably mispronounced it. So sorry about that. But yeah, again, this is going to be a fun evening. There's free catering that night as well. That's going to be done by Curry's Gourmet Catering. So if you were here last year at Real Stories, that was the night with the lavender cookies, which was French kiss.
French kiss.
Those were great.
I'm not going to live that one down, apparently.
Right? Yeah, it's what it's going to be now. But yeah, it's
French kiss.
Yeah, it was great.
Instead of chef kiss, it's French kiss.
French.
Good times.
But yeah, it's going to be a great evening. Free again. But we really want you guys to RSVP for these, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If I could get that banner back up.
Mm-hmm.
Free, but RSVP.
RSVP. We want to know how many people are going to be there, so we make sure that we have the right numbers here.
Yeah.
Also, because we don't want to overload the facility. You know, we can only fit so many people at Art Center. Tickets are going pretty quick. They are free. You just got to sign up on our website. You can get to that through wacoindy.com. Just check us out there. That's the easiest way to get to it. Just go to our normal website and go through the real stories there. It is open to everyone. Everyone is invited. It's a free event. Like I said, we'll have film, art, food, discussion. It's an evening just to celebrate all the great stories that happen in our area, but also have that ability to discuss and unpack what we see on screen.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, sir.
We're all about fun. Just like Waco Indie is all about fun. And so we're happy to put this out for our local community, something we can do outside of what we call our flagship event. And it's going to be great. Speaking of our flagship event, you are again reminded, if you are a filmmaker, to make sure you submit. You can submit to us on Film Freeway. And easy to find, Waco Indie. And also, don't forget to follow us on social media, as well as connecting with us socially in person at these events. That's a good way to let you guys know how to get there, how to find us. One final reminder that these events coming up with the Real Stories are free, just RSVP. And again, if you go to Waco Indie to get that link to RSVP, that'll get you there. But for now, I think that's really it. Just get that early deadline out there for the filmmakers, and let us know what's going on. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, thank you, Samuel, for putting us in the boxes.
I know, right?
Thank you for tuning in and listening to us chat about the series that's coming up next week at the Herd Center and at Art Center. Thank you, Dr. Yake Smith, for joining us to hear all about your film, Juneteenth, Faith and Freedom. And hopefully we will see all of you at Art Center next week.
Definitely. And I'm going to play the same thing that played us in. I'm going to have it play us out. So until next time, we are happy to be a part of your life and happy for you to be a part of ours. Just join us and have a great time celebrating film in all of the various forms. Thank you.